Tokyo Game Show 2024 time, baby. That means we're going to be getting more news of the video gaming. Oh, yeah.
Welcome, the Gamer Man's Lounge. Awaken to play.
Hello and welcome to the Gamer Man's Lounge. This is the monthly news videos where I go ahead and break down news stories that have happened weeks past leading up to now, because news in terms of video games, tech, anime, and manga, they're so slow. Now let's get started on our first news story. Let's go ahead and take a look at the upcoming GPD Duo that's been revealed and detailed. It's going to be a dual touchscreen laptop / tablet, and it's going to get interesting. For the CPU, we're going to be taking a look at the AMD Ryzen AI 9 HX 370. As for the GPU, AMD Radeon 890M. Now for the RAM, we are taking a look at 64 gigabytes of LPDDR5X. But as for the dual touchscreens, they're going to be a 13.3-inch, 2.8K dual OLED. Alright, this is going to get wild, and there's an 80 watt-hour battery. What about the ports? We're talking about a Type-A 3.2 Gen 1, actually two of them, USB Type-C full-featured, USB 4, Oculink, HDMI 2.1, and an SD card slot. But there seems to be an extra Type-C cord that I forgot, and that's on the second monitor. Actually, as a matter of fact, that Type-C cord that's on the second screen probably has something to do with the secondary screen becoming a portable display for other systems. You might find that interesting. However, as for storage, we are talking about 2 slots for NVMe SSD ports, up to 16 terabytes supported. Okay, there is an Oculink port for eGPU. Okay, if you want to do that, there's that. Now, the price and release dates are yet to be known, but I am going to go ahead and make some predictions. It'll definitely make debut at the Consumer Electronics Show 2025. I think the release date will be somewhere in 2025. And the price will probably be almost $2,000 considering how packed it is. But if it comes out surprisingly cheaper, that would be shocking. Now, that off my chest, let's go ahead and get started on to the next news story. As a matter of fact, Tokyo Game Show 2024 Digital World has happened. And yeah, there is a couple of games you might find interesting. But let's go ahead and get started with a cute, sexy fox girl. As a matter of fact, this cute, sexy fox girl is going to be someone who you will be meeting on The Fox's Way Home, which is going to be coming Q3 of 2024. This game has made debut and is still making debut at the Digital World of the Tokyo Game Show at the B-Side booth. And the story has you relying on a fox girl that will get you out of the other world. However, you and that fox girl are going to be tasked with lighting all of the 8 lanterns, and you have to remember the order of the events, as you must help the fox girl by spotting anything that does seem off. This is very similar to Exit 8. I'll get into that in a bit, but this game is going to be releasing Q3 2024 for PC via Steam. If this game would have an extra game mode where you can just go ahead and hang around and play around with the fox girl, that would be great. Also, a VR version would be nice as well. Also, extra outfits for the fox girl, please. That would be really great, including a swimsuit. I like that. Enough making wish lists for the game. Let's get right on going to the next news story. And speaking of VR, surprise hit horror title Exit 8 VR has been announced. It made debut on non-VR, and it was kicking off. And it was also becoming a big thing that people were wanting to make their own version of that or make their own spin on that, including The Fox's Way Home. Now, it's been given a VR version that is releasing on MetaQuest and PC VR via Steam. The game's descriptors will officially tell you that you're going to be dealing with an underground passageway. I believe this looks like as if it belongs to like a subway station. However, it is cursed and it will send you on a loop. And if you want to get out of there, you have to pay attention to your surroundings for anomalies. Now, a playable demo area is really out now on the Tokyo Game Show digital world. The price of the VR version of this game is going to be costing you $7, but on Steam, there is a bundle that carries Exit 8 VR and the non-VR that made its first debut, both for $7.68, or $7.68. Oh, and by the way, Exit 8 VR is available now. I gotta go ahead and check that game out. I did play the TGS Digital World demo, and yeah, I'm impressed with it. I am tempted to get my hands on that game as well as the VR version. Source links in the description. Yes, that's it, but I do have one more thing to add. Now, at the beginning of the month, I have been experimenting with YouTube Shorts and TikTok, or shall I say vertical video, short form news videos, okay? And then there's going to be the horizontal, long form news videos that I'm doing right now. I decided that, how about I do both? Continue to bring news stories, okay, out through YouTube Shorts and TikTok in short form, and then I'll do the long form in the event there is some stuff that I'm hyper late on or something among the lines. So yeah, I'm thinking about just doing both. But also, here's the thing. Before we go ahead and end things off, how about a product recommendation? After that, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Let the Lounge recommend you a product. It's the AYN Odin 2. This handheld Android gaming device can popularly be used for mobile emulation on the go, yes. However, because the thing is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, it can do way more than just emulation. You can even play your favorite mobile games, even mobile gacha games, at 60 frames per second consistently on higher settings. What's that? No Bluetooth controller support in the app? Oh, you could just map it. The Odin 2 lets you do that. This handheld has a nice 6-inch 1080p touchscreen, micro SD card support, Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.3, and yes, you do have video output via micro HDMI or USB 3.1 Type-C. That sounds like as if that port's way more than 65 watts of quick charging. You have a long-lasting battery, but you have additional settings for your Odin 2, especially including the customizable LED lights on the sides and around the analog sticks. You have a base model which will start you off with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. The Pro will get you 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs in storage, and the Max will give you 16 gigs RAM and 512 gigs storage. That's half a terabyte. Smooth sailing and 60 frames per second all the time was such the case when it came to doing my daily gacha games like Eversoul and Outer Plane. This Android handheld gaming device is amazing. Not just that, this handheld gaming device, I knew I would be glad to make such the choice. Don't sleep on it, it is a deluxe of a deal.